Hi Virgos, welcome to your September reading. It is your month, it's Virgo season, and we also have Mercury going retrograde in your sign, in your first house. With Mercury going retrograde, when Mercury goes retrograde, usually it's a period of reflection, it's a period of having to go over past communications, a period of not really not really taking any motion forward with contracts, business deals, anything communication-wise, because our communication can kind of be misunderstood, misconstrued. We can say things that we don't mean and mean what we don't say. And so there's a lot going on around communication, and with Mercury being in your first house right now in the sign of Virgo, and that retrograde occurring in your first house, and the house being your relationship to yourself, definitely feeling sort of, and how we assert ourselves, right? It's that Aries house, that Mars house of how we assert ourselves in the world. And our relationship to our own bodies, maybe having some insecurity issues coming up around our bodies, around our health, right? Virgo being that sign that is about self-discipline and responsibility to self and to health, and our sacrifice in the name of being responsible, right, to ourselves and to others as well, service to others. But definitely feeling a sense of insecurity or lack of confidence regarding, how you view yourself. The messages, right, there might be a disconnect between how you're feeling mentally and what's happening with you physically, right? So let's get into the reading, and we'll see what else is coming up for Virgo. So messages for Virgo for September 2017. Coming up for Virgos. Nothing really wants to come out. We'll just flip back over. Virgo is, I was raised by two Virgos. Virgo is, so we have the Four of Swords, first card out. So this for me is a general energy. And that makes a lot of sense with Mercury going retrograde, that Geminis and Virgos both being ruled by Mercury, and with Mercury going retrograde, there is this period of silence, and there is this period of inner reflection. There is this period of meditation over, how we've either navigated our relationships, or how we have either sort of navigated our relationship to self. There might be some goals or some ideas that you have that you are trying to bring out down from the ether into the physical plane, that you're reflecting on, how can I do that? How can I make that happen? But like I was saying before, Virgo, I was raised by two Virgos, huge, we also have, there is that full moon that's going to be happening in Pisces, your opposing sign, right, on September 6th, which can bring about changes, big endings for you. And I believe that's going to be happening in your 7th house, right? And as you can see, this tower, there's like two people sort of being thrust out. These partners being thrust out of this tower. But like I was saying, I was raised by two Virgos, and so perfectionism and perfectionism for the sake of, making sure that things function in a way that is, I don't want to say perfect, but like has purpose almost, right? And so when a Virgo feels sort of off track, or not really operating at an optimum level that they're used to, there is this sense of then wanting to kind of, check out. Wanting to kind of not do the disappearing act. That's more of an Aquarius thing, right? We tend to disappear as Aquarians, but more so just sort of like, if I can't be perfect, and if I can't present, and I can't show up in my Virgo perfection, then what's the fucking point? What's the point in me? And what's the point, right? And a lot of Virgos with Mercury going retrograde in your sign right now, feeling that, right? Feeling that happening in your first house, that, reflecting on a lot of things, right? And this reflection period is possibly creating, right? Like I do see a relationship here where this period of reflection, right, is now creating this overview, and this overview where we've created catastrophe where there really isn't catastrophe, right? But when Mercury goes retrograde, what Mercury is asking us to do is it's asking us to kind of go back in time and to review our communications, how we've sort of navigated our relationships with siblings, maybe, how we've handled contracts, how have we handled ourselves thus far? When it comes to dealing with other people and communicating and putting our voice out into the world and relationship issues and all of that good stuff, right? And so when we're reflecting on these things, sometimes we have a memory of something, and in that memory, we're so either repulsed by ourselves, right? Or we're disgusted by ourselves that how could we have possibly done that or acted that way? And, the reality is that you're human, and that you get to be imperfect, right? But let's see what else is coming up for Virgo for September 2017. But, I'm seeing this period of rest actually sort of bringing on this sense of anxiety and this need for abrupt upheaval of an aspect of yourself that you're really repulsed by. Let's see. 10 of Cups and the 3 of Cups. Relationship. Let's see what else is coming up. I feel like more is needed at the moment. High Priestess, the Star. Yeah, I also definitely feel that there's a goal, that there's something, a dream that a lot of you, there's some kind of ideal that you are all trying to achieve, that there's a lot of, but there's this fear that it's not going to happen. Anything else for Virgo for September 2017? Happy birthday too, by the way. My parents are August Virgo, so they just recently celebrated their birthdays. We'll see how that card plays out. It's kind of a slip of the hand. Okay, that's what they want to stop. So, seven of Wands on the bottom. So yeah, there is this feeling of trying to stay afloat, trying to stay on top, trying to stay ahead of the game, so to speak, and feeling like, there are things, there are people, there are places, there are situations that are in your way of achieving something that you're trying to achieve. I'm trying to review what else is going on for you all astrologically, but I'm really getting a lot of this Mercury retrograde energy right now, that there is this desire, and it's going to be over soon, right? It's going to dissipate September 5th. And I'm shooting this video on September 2nd. And who knows how long it'll take to upload. I live in the mountains, and the internet is awful, and with retrograde season and me being an air sign, it doesn't help. But definitely, this Mercury retrograde energy is going to dissipate pretty soon. But still, there are lessons that we have to carry away from that, right? We don't just go through a full moon or a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse and a retrograde season, and then it ends and it's over. It's like there are lessons and takeaways that then take days and months, and sometimes in cases years, for the lessons to fully be realized, and we have to take what we've received from these astrological events and then kind of do with them what we need to do. Sorry if the lighting and if I look fuzzy or if the video's lagging. I'm about ready to just get a new computer. But yeah, Seven of Wands on the bottom. So there are things in your way, right? And I definitely see that here, where there is, you know, on one side of this tower, we have this Four of Swords, right? And it's a card, I wouldn't say of inertia, but it's a card of taking a rest. And it's a very intentional, purposeful, meaningful kind of break. And it's a reflection meditation period. It's a meditative period where you get to just kind of reflect on what's going on. And like I said before, this to me represents what's happening right now with Mercury retrograde going through your first house and your sign. But I definitely feel that being a Virgo, this is not really a comfortable place, right, for Virgo. Yes, in the sense that we can also say that this person laying here is sort of preparing or resting, and is mentally preparing for the next battle, for the next to-do list, for the next whatever, insert here, whatever blank, you want to insert, right? So, Virgo is able to take essentially all the information and all of the knowledge gathered by Gemini and then can organize it, right? Like Virgo has the capacity to organize all of the various bits and pieces of information that Gemini has gathered, right, through Mercury. And then Virgo can put it into practical use. Virgo then says, is this useful? No, it's not. I'm throwing this piece of information away. Is this useful? Yes, it is. I'm going to keep this information. And so that period of time sometimes requires that we be still and we just observe, right? But this is also can be an uncomfortable place for Virgo, because Virgo, to me, I know a lot of people that have Mars in Virgo, and they are very action-oriented people. They get things done. They're on the move. And there's this anxiousness and this anxiety, right, that kind of rules over Virgo. That mercurial anxiety, right? Because Mercury can also be a very anxious planet, has anxious energy, and I believe that is translated through Virgo. Not so much Gemini, but definitely through Virgo. And so when Virgo is not in motion or is not doing things in the practical world, in the physical world, it can be it can bring up, feelings of incompetence, feelings of I'm not getting the things done that I need to get done. And in being here, what I'm actually doing by being here and not doing anything, right, and allowing, but in being here, right, because I also read the cards from up and down. I don't just read them, from left to right. I like to read them up and down. So, we also have this High Priestess underneath this Four of Swords, right? And so this there's a purpose why you need to be here right now. There's a reason. And it's because there's knowledge, there's information, there's higher knowledge that's coming, that's coming in, that is there for you to utilize. And it is a period of rest and silence and reflection. And it is a period of, just allowing yourself to, you had what happened in August for you all. You had that new moon in Leo, the solar eclipse, all happening in your 12th house. So there are new beginnings occurring in your house of the subconscious, right? And like I said before, we don't just have a moment and then it dissipates and it's no longer here. We take, right? Like I'm still mulling over the lessons and the heaviness that I felt during the solar eclipse, being an Aquarius, right? But so for you, there were new beginnings, new opportunities, fresh new starts happening in your 12th house, the house of your subconscious, the house of things that are not known to you in the physical world, the house of things that we cannot see but must believe in, right? And you must believe, right? There must be this newfound ability to have faith that even even if I do nothing, even if I just rest and if I just pray and meditate on it, even if I just call it into being, I can call it in and it can happen, right? There's this new, right? And we have the star next to this high priestess, right? So for me, when I read these two cards together, it's, it's dreams and hopes and wishes coming true by allowing our higher self, our highest being, to manifest it, allowing ourselves to be beacons of attraction for the things that we really want. And she doesn't take a lot of action. The high priestess is a very passive card. And so to me, it means that, being able to achieve, right, the things that we so desire and want by just allowing, right? And Virgo being, to me, an action-oriented sign where there's a lot of planning, there's a lot of organizing. When y'all are here, it can be very uncomfortable, and it can feel as if I don't take action right now, the whole fucking world is gonna come to an end. The whole world is just it's gonna dissolve and dissipate, and things aren't gonna work out. And if I spend too much of time here, then things can end up, kind of falling apart. And then the things that I've worked so hard for, right? The abundance that I've worked so hard for kind of just falls away and disappears. But I want to get some clarification. So can I get some clarification for the Tower, please? Can I get some clarification for the Tower? Why is the Tower here? Okay, well, nothing really wants to come out. Is there anything else for Virgo for September 2017? Okay. So we have the Emperor, Four of Wands, and the Three of Wands. So, and again, we have some major arcanas here. We have the Tower, the High Priestess, the Star, and now we have the Emperor. The desire to be in control. The desire to have complete and utter autonomy, right, over what happens. And the Emperor, for me, is a card where this Emperor is not passive at all. He asserts himself in a very intense manner. And for me, this could also represent for you all another person. The Emperor usually is an Aries card, so a fire sign. Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. Somebody who, a boss, somebody who has a lot of authority, somebody who presents to have a lot of authority, somebody who maybe you're even allowing to have a lot more authority over you than worthy, right? Like, the Emperor can also represent, a structure or a person or a system in our lives that we've given a lot of power to, that doesn't deserve that much power, right? So, if this is a person, if this is somebody who you feel, if this is somebody who you feel is getting in your way of being able to have the kind of happiness that you want, let's find more out. Can you tell me more about this Emperor? Can I have more information about this Emperor? Yeah, I definitely feel that it's a person. And it is somebody. So now we have this King of Pentacles, right? And we have the Queen of Pentacles too, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But now we have this King of Pentacles coming out as to clarify this Emperor card, or to give us more information. So yes, I definitely feel that this Emperor is a person. And like I said before, fire sign or an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, right? I'm definitely feeling Capricorn energy because, I definitely feel Capricorn. And also for me, Mars and Capricorn is a very strong placement when we have this Aries card here, right? So I'm feeling a lot of Capricorn energy here. And there could very well be a Capricorn in your life, or, a person in your life who yields a lot of power, who you feel possibly intimidated by, who you admire, yet are also kind of, you admire this person, right? There's this admiration, but there's also this sense of, I don't want to say a kind of, there's a part of you that respects this person because you also fear this person. And can I have some more information about this person? Because then next to it we have this Four of Wands, and the Four of Wands to me is a card that really represents stability and happiness, and feeling like you've created a foundation for yourself. Feeling like, but then we also have this Three of Wands, which is kind of like there's a digression, or there's it's descending, right? So we have this Four of Wands. I just heard home life, home. So something about the home. Maybe this is a person that you're currently living with, right? This Emperor and this King of Pentacles. Could be somebody that you are dealing with financial issues regarding your home. And regarding, right, because to me this is also a card of home and house, and celebrating the home, celebrating the foundations of the house. But then I see you like looking away from this Four of Wands, looking out into the future to see what other opportunities are out there for you. So this situation possibly didn't work out. Maybe you were looking to buy a home, and you felt that, you were sort of dealing with a person, an agent, or, somebody who wanted to sell you a home, or you were maybe a partner who was getting in the way of the formation and the manifestation of this. And, you're ready to kind of look for new opportunities. You're ready to look, right? And then we have this Queen of Pentacles here, which to me represents you all looking at, well, what is it that I want, right? Like, forget this king. Forget what this king wants. What do I want? What do I value? What is it that I believe that I can have? And am I willing to kind of go out and get it for myself, right? And that this sort of Four of Wands situation which, we have this Four of Wands and we have this Ten of Cups. And to me, the Ten of Cups carries a stronger energy of abundance, carries a stronger energy of fulfillment of one's goals, right? Like this is the beginning of this is the setting of the foundation, right? For a great home, but it almost felt as though like in order for you to have this, you kind of had to acquiesce to whatever this person wanted, whatever this Emperor / King of Pentacles, whatever this overbearing kind of stubborn character in your life wanted, right? In order for you to have accomplished this, you needed to kind of succumb to whatever this person wanted you to do. And I see a lot of you deciding like, no, I'm going to dissolve whatever relationship this is, or I'm going to walk away from it, which can be a scary thing, right? But in walking away from this situation, right, that is not allowing you to fulfill and to really grasp at the things that you want to grasp at. But in walking away from that, you believe, right? Because the Ten of Cups, right? It's not the Ten of Pentacles. The Pentacles for me represent actual, tangible, physical things that happen when we move into abundance, right? The Ten of Cups to me represents, emotional fulfillment, but also kind of like what we feel to be our ideal, what we feel to be, what ideas we have about abundance that we created, right, for ourselves, like the ideal, right? And we're having that full moon coming up in Pisces, and Pisces representing that idealism, representing that sort of escapism, representing the belief that anything is possible. Pisces is the ultimate belief, right, and the ultimate faith in the subconscious, the things that we can't see, the things that we believe to be not real, right? But Pisces believes that they're all real. And I see you all definitely, and having had that solar eclipse occurring in your 12th house. So, right, this new need, this new development in that sector of your ability to believe and have faith in the ideal and in the ideal things that you want, right? Because Virgo can be very practical, but sometimes to a fault where you don't allow yourselves to dream. And right, this is nice, but this to me is nicer. You don't allow yourselves to dream big sometimes, right? Just because we want to remain practical, right? Virgos want to remain practical. Virgos want to remain realistic about what can be achieved. But in doing so, there can be this loss of magic almost. There can be this denial of absolute faith in being able to achieve and accomplish the things that we want, right? And that we can have fun, right? Like, y'all can have fun. It's okay. Go have fun. But, this Ten of Cups to me represents like not just the tangible, like not just the things that tangibly exist in front of us, but the things that we want, the ideas that we have about abundance that we want to create and we want to see fulfilled, right? And so I definitely feel that in sort of walking away from this situation, right, where this person is kind of overbearing, they're trying to be very controlling. They're trying to, and they're also very stubborn, right? They're very incredibly stubborn, and they're not really moving. And this is what they have to offer. This is what they're willing to. In order for you to even have this, you kind of have to acquiesce to them. And it's not. I see a lot of you actually saying, well, fuck that. This actually is not. It's not the. this is not the end all and be all, right? Like, I don't have to sacrifice. I don't have to self-sacrifice anymore, right? The lessons for you for the lunar and the solar eclipse were about sacrifice and pain. And, you know, how much are you all willing, right? Like, there needed to be an ending with the full moon in Aquarius in your 6th house. There needed to be an ending with regard to how you view sacrificing, self-sacrifice, right? And sacrificing the things that you want, right? But it's like you don't have to sacrifice yourself. You know that, right? Like you can actually have the things that you want, and definitely, yes, also because it's Mercury retrograde, wait for a little bit. Wait. This person is kind of waiting. This person has also sent out messages, has also sent out, is trying to communicate with people and is waiting to hear back. And I definitely feel that after the retrograde period, there will be, a period of hearing back. There will be a period of reopening communication lines with regard to work, finances, deals that you're trying to make happen. This 3 of Cups is just kind of sitting here. So I want to get clarification. Can I get a clarifier for the 3 of Cups, please? Clarification for the 3 of Cups. Before it falls off. Your friends can offer you, your friends can offer you new ideas. Your friends can offer you a refreshed way, right? Like your friends have the capacity, right? You've been you've been resting, you've been figuring things out, you've been meditating on some things. Mercury retrograde has got you kind of flat on your back. And I definitely see friends, group dynamics having the ability to help you sort of sift through and bring about new ideas, new ways, like new communication coming through. And again, right, like new communication coming through, new ventures, new opportunities being seized. And your friends at the moment, your close friends can be a source of support and help and helping you to see things clearly with a fresh perspective. But yeah, whoever this person is, I definitely feel is trying to, I don't know if they're meaning to do it. They just feel like a very, very stubborn person, a very stubborn energy and a very controlling energy. And Virgos being, the sign of self-sacrifice and the martyr almost, right? I'll just forego whatever it is I want because this person, very humble, right? Virgos are also very humble, right? So like, this person must be right. They know better than me. They're a king, they're an emperor, but that doesn't, you're a queen. Like, and to me, that trumps like a lot. That trumps the king. That trumps the king and the emperor for me, right? Like the queen has the ability to not only hold power, but to hold power in a way that is kind and empathetic and is still very directive, but she knows her worth and she knows the worth of others and doesn't try to exploit the worth of others, which to me is a very strong form of leadership that we're lacking a lot of right now. And so let me get a final outcome card for Virgos for September 2017. Final outcome for Virgos. Can I get an outcome card for Virgos? Okay, so we have the 9 of Swords. So I still see you all, mulling over things, worrying over things. I think that you're allowing this energy, this Tower energy, to have a lot more power than it needs to. Like I said before, sometimes when we're here and we're reflecting on things, sometimes we can catch ourselves sometimes we can hook in a thought that then creates this kind of catastrophe which doesn't exist, and then we find ourselves here, right? So just be mindful of the procession, right? Of like, you're in this period of rest, not to drive yourselves crazy and to destroy, right? To destroy yourself or to destroy others or to destroy your sense of self, but you're here to reflect. You're here for a higher purpose. You're here for this. You're here for the High Priestess. You're here because you have been asked by the universe, by the solar eclipse, to actually allow yourselves to be in faith and to be in belief, and to not rely so heavily on the details of the practical physical world, right? You're being asked to put a little bit more faith in what you cannot see, what you cannot taste, feel, touch, organize, categorize, discriminate. Like, you're being asked to have a little bit, to allow this energy, just don't do anything, right? And in that process of not, right, it's like in that not doing anything, we actually are able to really get in touch with the star and what it is, the healing energy of what we really want to do and accomplish, right, with our lives. Not just physically, but spiritually as well, right? Like, what are your spiritual goals? What are your goals that you have regarding spiritual fulfillment? And by allowing yourself to go with this energy, you just sort of are going to end up here with this Nine of Wands. And you know what? Move through it, allow the rumination to pass, and for you to eventually realize that it really is just all in your mind, right? Swords represent the mind. Swords represent the things that we create for ourselves mentally and psychologically. But that is your reading, Virgos, for September, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you'd like to schedule a reading with me, you can contact me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or you can go to tattoosandtarot.com, and I'm having my website redone at the moment, so there might be a period, so you might click on it and not be able to get to my website. And if that's the case, just email me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com. And also, if you've already booked an appointment with me, or if you've already selected to have an appointment with me on my website, please send me an email, because I can't, the way PayPal works is I can't contact buyers. They have to contact me. So if you've already purchased a reading with me, please send me an email so that we can schedule a time to get your reading done. And I hope this was a good reading for you all, and I will see you all in October. All right, bye.